All right, this is part 5 of the secret hum, and in the last video we discussed levitation. This video we're going to discuss my theory on flight. So as I said in the last video, you've seen these rods, the curved ones, that they go up the gradient of the water. So if they have water flowing at a downward spout, we'll put them up, they'll rise. Or if they're in a river, you put that rod in a stream, it will go upstream. Why does it do that? How come salmon, another type of fish, can swim upstream? They're not swimming upstream. They're levitating. They're creating vortices with their fins. Or birds. Remember me showing you all these 5 spirals, saying they're not chaos? Chaos is flowing energy. So when we think of chaos, it's the opposite of what we think it means. I showed you our friends, the dolphins. This was all months ago. How that when they swim long distances, they make these vortexes, these 5 ratios. The same spiral, the same vortex. Remember I showed you this picture? I told you have this singularity. It's in your heart. You just couldn't put it all over the same thing, but it's in your heart. It's a spiral going up or down. Remember? Red was red veins for explosion coming out of your heart. Blue veins are implosion. It's how everything, the architecture of everything's made up. Showed you the planet too, remember? Remember? Galaxy, remember? That's why it's spiraling. When you look at this image, you're seeing my attempt to map out something I've been piecing together for weeks, the hum vortex principle. A while back, we were talking about those old rods placed under flowing water that would rise instead of being dragged downstream. That's always stuck with me because it's not magic, it's field mechanics. Flow plus geometry creates self-organizing pull. Now think about what happens in a river when a vortex forms. That hole you see isn't empty, it's a 0-point toroidal field. The human heart does the exact same thing. So now imagine that, adding the hum to that. In this picture, you see 3 layers: the rod flow layer, the heart 0-point layer, and the hum layer. The vibration we generate to activate and steer the field. This is why I believe the hum isn't just relaxation. It's a propulsion system for consciousness. The rod rides the reverse current because the vortex flips pressure. My heart still point is that same flip in miniature. Sorry. When my hum becomes the flow and my intention supplies geometry, I stop pushing against the world and start letting the field lift me, not propulsion, inversion. This picture shows the spiral ladder of resonance. Each rung of the spiral is one stage in how breath and sound unlock perception. At the bottom you see breath, the raw potential. Then it moves upward into sound. As the spiral rises, the vibration fills the body, lighting it up in resonance. From there, the nervous system is activated. Brain waves synchronize, and at the top, perception opens. Sound and breath together unlock a higher view of reality. So when I first started to learn about the hum, I thought it was just something happening inside my own body. But then I remembered the stories of the Tibetan monks. They say the monks stood in a semicircle using their voices, drums, and horns to create such a powerful resonance that stones themselves began to lift and move. That's what you see on this image, the external version of the same principle. They sang the world into motion. Their hum wasn't random. It was tuned. It was geometry made from sound. So whether it's lifting a stone or lifting your spirit, the principle is the same. Vibration moves matter. The secret hum is not just a sound. It's a key. And once you unlock it, you begin to realize reality itself is humming along with you. Horns gave the low carrier wave. Drums set the pulse. Voices added coherent harmonics. And the cliff itself acted as a reflector. They built a standing wave field. The stone set in the node, and its apparent weight changed. The same physics my body runs on, just a different scale. This all made me realize if I can feel these tones from the outside, what happens when I create them from the inside? Because we, as humans, already carry every frequency in our vocal cords, every sound that makes a cymatic shape, every frequency that builds creation. It's already encoded in us. So I started humming, not just humming mindlessly, but paying attention to the vibration. When I lowered my pitch, it spread through my chest, my belly, my legs. When I raised the pitch higher, the vibration climbed, pineal, crown, and beyond. That's when I realized the hum is a ladder, each pitch a rung. You can climb it with your own voice. That was the beginning of what I called the secret hum. As I dug in, I started noticing my hands wanted to move on their own. They shaped themselves into a mudra. The thumb and finger apart, not touching like the old Gairan mudra, but forming a space between them. At first I thought nothing of it, but then I realized the gap is a resonant chamber. The hum vibrates there, projecting outward. You can feel it. Thumb is fire, intention. Index as air, the mind. Middle finger as ether, the channel. The shape is my body remembering how to seal a broadcast from the signal. Then another thought hit me. The hum is a carrier wave, but words modulate it. The hum builds power. The word shapes it. Like drawing back a bow, then releasing an arrow. So I began to test words. Om Ta. Om fills the body. Ta snaps it into form. This is the anchor. It stabilizes the energy. Ya rock. Ya lifts. Ra expands. K discharges like lightning. This is the projector. It sends energy outward. Ye shawa. Ye pulls deep. Sha spreads. Wa releases softly. This is the connector. It merges with your higher frequencies. Anchor, projector, connector, a full cycle. The more I worked on it, the more I remembered this is not new. Every tradition used sound, Vedic mantras, Tibetan throat chanting, Gregorian hymns echoing in stone halls, Sufi zikar, shamanic drones, Aboriginal didgeridoo. All of them were using the hum in some form. And maybe that's why we have those stories of the Tibetan monks levitating stones. They lined up horns and drums in a semicircle, chanted with precision, and the stones moved. Not because of magic, but because the resonance overcame weight. They built a standing wave field with their voices and instruments. What I'm realizing is the external vision, what I'm doing with the hum is internal version. Same principle, different scale. Whether you're lifting a stone or lifting your spirit, vibration moves matter. Then we went over the 20 applications. Then I kept circling back to the heart because the heart is the 0-point vortex, like the still center of a whirlpool. We talked about rods placed in flowing water, how they would ride an upward current instead of sinking. That's exactly what the heart does. It's a living engine of 0-point energy. So imagine combining that with the hum. You build resonance in the body. You guide it with intention. You release with the word. The heart locks into the field and suddenly you're not pushing against gravity. You're riding an upward flow. That's the forgotten principle of flight. Not propulsion, but inversion. And here's a mystery that keeps unfolding as I hum. I feel memories rise through me like echoes from higher and lower versions of myself nested in layers. Some tones feel small and high like younger fragments. Some so vast and deep like greater services. It's like tuning into a choir that spans lifetimes. And it literally is like hum, hum, hum. It's like how it came to me in the vision. It was just like bigger and bigger and bigger, like it was coming from higher realms. That's why I believe the hum isn't just therapy. It's technology. It's memory. It's a ladder. It's a song of the soul tuning itself to the source. So when you see these pictures, monks with their horns, mudras, opening circuits, diagrams of breath spiraling into perception, know they're all pointing to the same truth. The universe is humming. The ancients knew it, and now we're remembering it. I hope you enjoyed this humming series. Now we're going to jump into how can you prove any of this, Josh, with physics and information. So I've showed you how gravity, I've redefined it as a spiral, and I'm going to show you why it has to be that way. But then I'm going to show you how all the dimensions actually work, all the suns and the moons that are in specific dimensions, how all that works, how it's all a fractal, how the higher dimension fractals work. Talk to you soon. Hope you have a great day. Namaste.